Hey, Alien fans, listen up. I'm not here to waste your time with fluff. Alien Earth dropped 3 episodes. It's different, not good different, not bad different, just different. And that's worth talking about. Episode 1 was frankly a delight. I mean, we got classic stuff, new aliens, bugs, and a weird octopus like creature. Frankly, it was disgusting. And you know what? I loved it. The grosser, the better. Right away, the show nails the look. The art direction is fantastic. They've captured that gritty, grimy, lived in feel of the original Alien and its sequels. The hissing sounds, jump scares, and the claustrophobic hallways. For a second, I thought we might actually have a worthy successor to Ridley Scott's Haunted House in Space. But this show is fascinating and insane at the same time. So the first episode starts with some crawling text in classic alien computer font that says there is a race to develop 3 technologies for immortality. Enhanced humans, basically cyborgs, then we have synths, then hybrids, where the human consciousness can be transferred into a synthetic body. There are 5 companies that rule the globe, and whichever technology wins, that corporation will rule the universe. Then we cut to a crew waking up from cryosleep. Just like in the original film, they're sitting at a table, eating, giving us those subtle clues about who they are. It's the gold standard for character introductions, and it immediately sets the mood. It feels familiar, but with a new twist. Immediately, the standout character was Morrow, played by Babu Sise. He's a cyborg, and he's sort of a nuisance right off the bat. Then I had high hopes for Mr. Tang, the creepy bald synth. Now, these characters feel right at home in this universe. Honestly, I didn't care much about the other characters. I figured, who'd make it out alive. Turns out I was dead wrong. They killed everyone except Morrow. And honestly, good. A series should surprise you. If I can predict every death, why even watch? So, episode 1 sets the stage. Earth is now heavily industrialized and basically run by Will and Yutani and 4 other companies. On the orbital research ship, scientists are smuggling Xenomorph and other weird specimens because apparently we haven't learned anything after 2 centuries of carnage. Meanwhile, on Earth, we meet Marcy, a terminally ill girl who gets the ultimate upgrade from a company called Prodigy. It's owned by the world's youngest trillionaire, Boy Cavalier, who clearly watched Charlie and the Chocolate Factory way too many times as a kid. His entire existence boils down to one pathetic need, conversing with someone smarter than himself. Now, there's definitely another layer of malice, greed, or some other delusional goal that drives him, but for now, the guy is looking for someone who's smarter than him. He thinks Kirsch is information smart but wisdom blind. He'd probably debate hybrids, but is unsure about his latest creation. Right off the bat, I hate him because he's a special kind of stupid. His narcissism is so perfectly hollow, it achieves a kind of intellectual vacuum where even logic gets sucked into the void. What a stupid character, but a good actor. And get this, his main research facility is on a private island called, I kid you not, Neverland. The Peter Pan references don't stop there. Marcy's consciousness is now uploaded into an android body, and now she is known as Wendy. Oh, but it gets weirder. She then joins a group of other reanimated kids called the Lost Boys. Yes, that's the actual name because when you're dealing with children's minds trapped in immortal synthetic bodies, you clearly need a reference. Peter Pan, a story about kids who refuse to grow up. It's like naming a funeral home forever young. The thematic whiplash alone could power a small city. Now, complicating Marcy's new existence is her brother, Joe. He's a high-ranking medic with the Prodigy Corporation, completely unaware that his sister is still alive. As far as he knows, Marcy is gone, and he's left to grieve. But Marcy is sort of infatuated with him, and she observes him from various devices. And Watching the brother she loves mourn a death that didn't happen is somehow not sitting well with Marcy. And even without hormones or human emotions, her programming seems to be in conflict. So she's not supposed to feel, but the sight of her brother creates a dissonance, a logical paradox that she can't resolve. It's a theory, we don't know what she is feeling, but she is tentative and she is eager to see her brother. Copying Marcy's consciousness captured the entire architecture of her brain, a neural network shaped by years of emotional responses. Could this emotional ghost exist within the code? She recognizes the shape of the feeling, its importance, and its priority in her decisions, even though she can't physically feel it. She remembers warmth without heat, love without hormones, a ghost of a feeling. Is that memory or real emotion? That's the question that hooked me. Is Marcy just a copy? If so, does that mean the original Marcy is dead? Prodigy claims that they're transferring consciousness into a synthetic body, but the mechanics are suspiciously vague. And if the tech works one way, shouldn't it be reversible? I mean, like, could you shove a synthetic consciousness back into a human body? The situation really made me stop and think. Instead of focusing on the xenomorphs, I wanted to explore this more. This is perhaps one of the most interesting concepts I've seen on TV this year. This episode, however, builds tension beautifully. The corporate scheming, android identity questions, the music, sound effects, and the overall cinematography was awesome. It felt smart, deliberate, and dare I say, promising. Now, back on the ship, the Xenomorphs pulled their classic Houdini act, materializing out of nowhere, slaughtering most of the crew, frying the ship's navigation, and vanishing without a trace. Morrow, of course, lets everyone die and saves himself. Cut to 4 months later, this derelict death trap is hurtling towards Earth at around about 280,000 miles per hour, which is about 0.4% of the speed of light. We know this because Mr. Tang, the synth on board, tells the crew that they're actually 4 months away from Earth and about 805 million miles away. Now, the ship crashes on Earth. Now, I'm assuming that the ship had some sort of automatic braking system when it entered the Earth's orbit, or otherwise, I mean, imagine a ship of that size traveling at 280,000 miles per hour, hitting a city. The kind of devastation it's going to cause, unimaginable. So, not much information there, just speculation. Anyways, you would think that an interstellar civilization might have, oh, I don't know, a single orbital defense mechanism, a warning siren, one intern glancing at the incoming flaming wreckage radar. Nope. Instead, the ship plows directly into a high rise where the ultra wealthy, dressed like 16th century aristocrats, are too busy doing God knows what to notice that a skyscraper sized spacecraft has crashed in their building and is lying parked in their lobby. There's actually a scene in episode 2 where Joe and a couple of soldiers tells them that, there's a spaceship in their lobby, and their reaction is like, oh, really, we're busy. And they shut the door. I mean, that was just amazing. I guess that's Noah Hawley's idea of humor, tonal blend of absurdity and social satire. Much like how Fargo balances violence with quirky humor, when Noah decided to put Key and Peele playing deadpan FBI agents, now that sort of landed. The aristocrats, not so much. However, on the plus side, when the Xenomorphs gets inside the room and makes literally mincemeat out of them, that was good. I guess their death were the punchline. I don't know. The cast showed real promise too. Timothy Olyphant as Kirsch, the unnervingly calm android, manages to ooze menace while barely raising his voice. Babu Sise especially, I loved his role as Morrow, who is sort of an agent of that corrupt system, his cold-blooded actions sealing off his crewmates to protect the alien specimens. I think they were not a desperate fight for survival, but a calm execution of a prioritized directive. I think this makes him more akin to Ash, the science officer from the original Alien film. Ash was a synthetic with a hidden protocol to protect the xenomorph specimen at all costs, even if it meant sacrificing the crew. Now, Ash's actions and his eventual reveal are a classic example of corporate malfeasance and the horror of being betrayed by someone you trust. Morrow embodies the same thematic core. He's not a mindless killing machine, he's a sentient being who has made a chilling decision to prioritize profit and scientific acquisition over human life. The fact that he's a cyborg, not a synthetic, makes it even more disturbing as it implies his loyalty is a conscious choice, not just programming. The detail about him humming while the crew is being killed further reinforces his detached, clinical mindset, showing a chilling disconnect from the chaos and terror around him. Next, we have Wendy, played by Sydney Chandler, who brings a wide-eyed sincerity to the role that almost makes me forget her god-awful hairstyle. I like Wendy a lot, but man, it looks like she lost a fight with a lawnmower. As the daughter of Kyle Chandler, she's stepping into this breakout role with a vulnerability and quiet strength that's got people comparing her to young Sigourney Weaver. I'd describe her as a fresh face who nails the eerie innocence of a kid trapped in an adult body, balancing wonder with resolve to make Wendy's hybrid confusion feel real. Now, she's infusing Wendy with the subtle emotional layers, especially in those scenes where she's wrestling with her synthetic life, and she's the heart of the show's big questions about humanity without going overboard. Overall, she's a standout among the veteran cast, proving she's way more than just nepotism. Her performance pulls you right into Wendy's chaos, turning the hybrids from a gimmick into something truly magical and tragic. Here's the thing about episode 1. It was not just going through the horror motions, it was actually flirting with some legitimately interesting ideas. Like, really sit with this premise. You take a child who's dying and you upload her consciousness into this perfect, unaging synthetic body. Now, what does that do to someone's psyche? How does a 12-year-old process eternity and the corporate angle watching Weyland Yutani's rivals treat artificial life like intellectual property to be patented and monetized? There were so many layers here. For that first hour, I thought, holy shit, are we actually getting the cerebral alien series we've been waiting for since the 79 original? The kind that makes you pause the episode to chew on the implications, the rare sci-fi that trusts its audience to follow big questions between the blood sprays. Okay, so then we have episode 2. Now, the Xenomorph has always been more than a simple killing machine. It is, not a parasite, but a predator with a purpose. In this episode, it just sprints at people like it's auditioning for, a Fast and Furious crossover. Where's the horror of implantation, of reproduction? Gone. Instead, we are treated to scenes where humans inexplicably forget how to operate firearms, fumbling like toddlers presented with flatware. Guns miss, soldiers freeze, not because it makes sense, but because the script wills it. But damn, that was entertaining. Gory as hell, kept me glued despite the eye rolls. Another thing I'm intrigued about is Joe's role. The guy's practically useless other than being Wendy's brother. He's this gangly medic who hesitates like he's allergic to decisions and surviving on pure plot armor. Good lord. Now, Joe is definitely one of the main characters and he has a role to play, but I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't be too sad if he dies in the 4th episode or maybe, at the end of the season. What I'm more interested about is why Wendy cares for him. First of all, she doesn't have those feelings, right? As a hybrid kid brain in a robot body, her emotions are dulled. Yet, she's rewriting code and risking everything to save him. Their relationship feels too rushed. But I can't blame the director on that because again it's an 8 episode series, so there's so much you can do in 8 episodes. But anyways, this I'd like to see how the upcoming episodes deal with the. Does she feel through logic, or is it just programmed loyalty? Wendy can also hear the creatures, so this is nothing new, but what if these creatures can communicate? Are they intelligent enough? Episode 2 teases her picking up xenobuzzes like radio static. She's tuned in hive mind frequency. Now let's see what Noah Hawley makes out of all of this. Episode 3 picks up immediately after Episode 2's cliffhanger. Wendy ordered slightly to mine the alien eggs, leading to nervous jokes about making an omelet. They now possess 6 complete eggs, meaning 6 potential new xenomorphs. Also, she takes off to save her brother Joe. Now, this directly contradicts Kirsch's order to secure the specimens for return to the research facility on Neverland. Wendy races through the ship's lower levels to save her brother. As she runs, she hears the distinct clicking and buzzing sounds of the aliens, perceiving it as a form of communication. She hears the same frequency again later when the eggs react violently to a facehugger experiment, supporting the long-established lore that xenomorphs operate through a hive mind, a concept reinforced by tie-in comics that depict them as an insectoid colony with a queen, drones, and facehuggers all linked physically. A major question from earlier episodes involves the eggs' origin. Morrow previously stated the ship found them on a moon, but omitted crucial details like which moon was it, LV-426? Since xenomorphs require a queen to produce eggs, viewers are left to wonder if the chestbuster implanted in CJ will become a new queen. However, trailers showing multiple drone xenomorphs suggest this is unlikely. Kirsch studies the ship's logs, which detail the 5 alien species collected. The only unseen one, a flying winged creature, finally appears, though its impact is left for viewers to judge. Now let's talk about the character arcs and motivations. Let's start with Nibs. Her mental state deteriorates significantly. Initially, she was fascinated by the grotesque eyeball squid creature. Her curiosity slowly twisted into madness. Early hints suggest that one hybrid would break first, and she is the prime candidate. We also learned that all the hybrids, they're prototypes. The program is still in beta with many bugs to fix. Nibs grew angry that she wasn't allowed to choose her own name, unlike Wendy. Boy Cavalier later explains that Wendy is special as the first successful hybrid. This uniqueness is confirmed. Wendy can hear alien communications at a super high frequency, an ability the others lack. Now, the cyborg reveals deep remorse for letting his crew die, showing his human parts can override his base programming. He challenges the Lost Boys' loyalty, asking if they would follow immoral orders to protect those they care about. He claims they would choose the latter. Now, back to Wendy, she enters a determined, almost Terminator-like mode to save her brother. Her connection to the hive mind becomes a liability when Kirsch extracts a facehugger for study. Wendy feels its pain sympathetically, causing her to collapse. The team finds slight traces of white synthetic blood on her, a direct callback to Ash and Alien, and Kirsch forces her into a shutdown mode for protection. Now, the episode expands the show's corporate war mythology. We learn 5 megacorporations now battle for control of Earth and the solar system. The full list is Weyland-Yutani from the films Threshold, Dynamic, Lynch, and Prodigy. A war in South America over new technological resources triggered this shift in power. Morrow, who is much older after decades in cryosleep, finally contacts his employer, Yutani. The original CEO who hired him is dead, and his now elderly granddaughter runs the company. In a scene reminiscent of Ripley learning about her daughter in Aliens, Morrow discovers everyone he knew is dead or aged. He rebels, refusing to return until he recovers the specimen from Neverland. But I feel Morrow is a character who's going to have a twist. Now, Morrow contacted Slightly, and his way inside Prodigy is through Slightly. Now, he did try to talk to Slightly, and while in that episode, Slightly shut him down, but I think he's going to get through. Now, the doctors use CJ's lung for the chestbuster implant. The dialogue emphasizes this is the first time, a crucially ominous detail. Slightly watches a cartoon called Mub and Grub, Follow the Slime, clear reference to the Xenomorphs' corrosive blood and secretions. Boy Cavalier reveals he created the hybrids for intelligent conversation, paying off his loneliness from episode 2. This sparks competition among the hybrids, particularly from Curly, who believes her ambitions make her better than Wendy. Curly demonstrates an ability to learn instantly, uploading knowledge directly to her brain like Neo learning Kung Fu in The Matrix, highlighting the hybrid's limitless potential. So what's in that cell that requires a hazmat-suited worker to constantly spray it? Why is he alone? Is Morrow's daughter alive or dead? How will the show resolve its place in the larger alien timeline? If advanced synthetics and hybrids exist now, why were they not prevalent in the films? The explanation may be corporate rivalry. Wayland Yutani wouldn't use a rival's tech. And if the project failed, it would have been covered up. So where do I land after 3 episodes? Somewhere between admiration and sheer disbelief. Alien Earth is ambitious, sometimes brilliant, sometimes laughably absurd. It swings for the fences, and while not every swing connects, the audacity is just fascinating. It's not Alien, it's not Aliens, but it's something else. A strange hybrid of horror, satire, and philosophy. And love it or hate it, you won't forget it. Personally, I have high hopes for this one. Anyways, this was a review made by the Morbidly Obese Duck, and I'm just gonna waddle away now. Quack!